Do your ankles swell up to the point where it's genuinely difficult to even flex your foot? I'm not referring to that mild, temporary puffiness you might experience following a lengthy flight. I am talking about legs that feel as heavy as if they are filled with dense stones, skin that feels stretched to its absolute limit, and those deep, stubborn, lasting impressions that your socks leave behind, which is medically recognized as pitting edema. Is this frustrating and uncomfortable reality something you face on a daily basis, especially as the evening sets in? If so, I need you to listen to me very carefully, because that severe fluid accumulation isn't merely an irritating inconvenience. It is, in fact, a bright, flashing warning signal indicating that your vascular system is under significant strain and struggling to perform its essential functions. When fluid stubbornly and persistently collects in your lower extremities, gravity is effectively winning the battle, slowing your blood's return journey to a painstaking crawl. This dangerously sluggish blood flow is a condition known as venous stasis, and this stagnant environment creates the ideal breeding ground for the development of perilous, potentially fatal blood clots, medically termed deep vein thrombosis, or DVT for short. This is, at its core, a critical issue concerning your overall circulatory health. Far beyond any mere cosmetic concern, you have likely attempted every standard piece of advice that is commonly offered: elevating your legs on pillows, soaking your tired feet in warm water, or dramatically cutting back on the salt in your diet. And despite all your best efforts, the swelling persists and continues to plague you. Why does this happen? It's because you are only addressing the visible symptom, merely masking the problem without tackling its true origin. You are missing the fundamental, crucial nighttime protocol that doesn't just temporarily manage the excess fluid, but actively and forcefully works to reverse the entire process while your body is at rest and you are asleep. I am here to give you the definitive 7-step bedtime vascular fix that will change everything. We are going to systematically detoxify your system, strengthen your vascular infrastructure, and manually pump the trapped fluid out of your legs before your head even makes contact with your pillow. When you wake up in the morning, your feet will be flat, flexible, and comfortable enough for you to slide them effortlessly into your favorite pair of shoes. This protocol is designed to address the root cause of the problem, which is chronic venous insufficiency. And please, I want you to pay especially close attention to this next part. Fix number 7 is the one clinical secret, a powerful natural botanical agent that specialists frequently rely on to fortify the vein walls from the inside out. Do not, under any circumstances, skip this step. We begin our journey right now with the internal groundwork. The standard, oft-repeated advice to simply eat less sodium is frequently inadequate and fails to produce lasting results. Edema is very often caused by a catastrophic imbalance among your 3 primary electrolytes: sodium, potassium, and magnesium. Your kidneys, which are the organs responsible for managing the vast majority of your body's fluid balance and regulation, require a very precise and delicate ratio of these essential minerals to function optimally. When your body is deficient in either potassium or magnesium, your cells respond by clinging desperately to sodium and consequently to water, which leads directly to that pressurized pooling of fluid that we visually recognize as swelling. Therefore, our first action is executing a targeted cellular pre-sleep flush. Exactly 60 minutes before your target bedtime, you need to perform the very first step, which requires both magnesium and potassium. Magnesium citrate is a natural, smooth muscle relaxer that helps to ease the tension in your blood vessel walls, precisely the veins we are trying to clear and decongest, and it also aids in proper cellular hydration. I recommend taking 1 full teaspoon, which provides approximately 300 to 400 milligrams of elemental magnesium, and mixing it thoroughly into 12 ounces of water. The secret weapon in this particular step is potassium bitartrate, which is more commonly known as cream of tartar. Potassium is the primary regulator of fluid located inside your cells, working directly in opposition to sodium, which operates outside the cell membrane. By strategically boosting your potassium levels, you send a signal to your cells to release their hold on excess sodium in the water that accompanies it. So add a generous pinch, about a quarter of a teaspoon, of cream of tartar to your magnesium drink and stir well. Drink this mixture slowly, consuming it over a period of about 60 minutes before you intend to fall asleep. This timing is absolutely critical because it gives your kidneys and your vascular system a significant head start, initiating the gentle systemic release of fluid before you actually lie down and gravity ceases to assist your circulation. Remember, we are trying to get the fluid moving while your posture still allows gravity to work in our favor and help the drainage process. If you have any underlying kidney condition, it is absolutely imperative that you consult with your physician before you significantly alter your intake of potassium or magnesium. For everyone else who is healthy, this constitutes the foundational first step. Your body is now internally primed and ready, but that alone is not sufficient to counter the immense stress of chronic swelling. We need to physically shock those veins into submission. When blood is allowed to simply pull and stagnate in your ankles, the veins become lazy, distended, and lose the necessary vascular tone required to push the blood back up against the unrelenting force of gravity. We are going to force a natural, powerful vascular pump through the application of thermal shock, a phenomenon known as the Hunting response, which causes a rapid and beneficial cycle of contraction and release within the blood vessels. This requires the contrast bath method, which we are adapting specifically for pre-sleep use. You'll need 2 basins or containers large enough to comfortably immerse your feet. One basin should be filled with water as warm as you can comfortably tolerate without burning yourself, and the second basin should be filled with the coldest tap water you can get, to which you should add 5 to 6 trays of ice cubes to ensure the water is painfully cold. The protocol is straightforward and simple. First, immerse both of your feet in the hot water for a full 3 minutes. This causes massive vasodilation, meaning your veins open wide, bringing stagnant blood and trapped fluid closer to the surface of the skin where they can be more easily moved. Second, immediately and without hesitation, switch your feet to the ice water bath and leave them there for a full 60 seconds. This is the challenging part, so remember to breathe deeply and steadily. The intense cold triggers powerful vasoconstriction, meaning the veins instantly clamp down, forcibly squeezing the stagnant blood and trapped fluid out of the area and propelling it into the central circulatory system. Repeat this entire cycle 3 times in total. 3 minutes in the hot water, followed by 1 minute in the cold water, then 3 minutes hot, 1 minute cold, and finally finish the sequence with a final 1 minute dip in the cold water. The immediate benefit of this final cold plunge is immense and long lasting. When you remove your feet from the cold water, the skin immediately starts to warm up, causing a massive reflexive opening of the veins, known as a flush. This reaction creates a powerful suction effect, drawing fresh, oxygenated blood into the lower legs and simultaneously carrying all the metabolic waste and the pulled fluid away from the area. This is the single fastest way to manually decongest your lower legs before you climb into bed for the night. We have now successfully flushed the system and shocked the veins into action. But gravity remains a constant, unwavering enemy. If you simply prop your legs passively on a pillow, the drainage process is slow, passive, and inefficient. To truly move the trapped fluid, you need to introduce a dynamic element. You need to actively engage your powerful calf muscles, which are often referred to as your second heart, to squeeze the veins that run directly through them. This is the essence of the muscle pump principle. The technique is based on the restorative yoga pose known as Viparita Karani, or legs up the wall. Lie flat on your back near a solid wall and scoot your hips as close to the wall as you possibly can. Then, swing your legs straight up so that your heels rest comfortably on the wall, forming a perfect L shape with your body. This position places your lower legs above the level of your heart, allowing gravity to assist in the drainage process. Here is the critical refinement that most people miss. You cannot simply rest there and expect results. Every 60 seconds, you must perform an active ankle flex. Start by pointing your toes strongly toward the ceiling for a count of 5. This is the stretch phase. Then, strongly flex your feet, pulling your toes back toward your head for a count of 5. This powerful muscle contraction is what actively squeezes the venous reservoir in your calves, forcibly propelling the blood and fluid upward. Repeat this point and flex cycle 10 times per minute in ute for a total of 5 minutes. This is active gravitational drainage at its finest. The active pumping action, combined with the inverted position, creates the maximum possible pressure gradient, pushing the trapped fluid from your ankle reservoirs up into the larger veins in your thigh and pelvis, where the main circulatory system can effectively manage and process it. Just 5 minutes of this exercise is equivalent to receiving a deep, active lymphatic drainage massage for your entire lower body. Make this 5-minute routine completely non-negotiable and perform it every single night without fail. We have successfully drained the fluid. Now, we must move on to strengthening the plumbing system itself. Why does the fluid leak out of your blood vessels in the first place? The answer lies in the fact that the walls of your smallest vessels, the capillaries, become weak, porous, and leaky due to chronic inflammation and damage caused by free radicals. We need a topical agent that can tighten and tone these leaky vessels. We are going beyond simple moisturizer and instead using concentrated botanical venetonics mixed with a suitable carrier oil. Cypress essential oil is highly regarded within the medical community for its powerful venetonic properties, helping to effectively reduce blood vessel permeability and strengthen the capillary walls. This is the structural fix of the rub. You will need 5 drops of this essential oil. Rosemary essential oil is a potent circulatory stimulant. It actively stimulates local blood flow, ensuring that the fluid we have just forced out is rapidly carried away from the area, thereby preventing it from immediately resettling in the lower legs. You need 5 drops of rosemary oil. Mix the 10 drops total with 1 tablespoon of a carrier oil, such as fractionated coconut oil or sweet almond oil. This is not a quick haphazard slather. It is a targeted therapeutic massage. Sit comfortably and extend your legs in front of you. Starting with a small amount of the oil blend at your toes, use firm, upward strokes to massage the oil deeply into your feet, working your way toward your ankles and then continuing up your calves. Crucially, you must always massage toward your heart, which is the direction of venous return. You are manually assisting the venous return with your hands. Spend extra time and attention on the lower half of your calves and stop the massage just below the knee pit at the back of the knee. This rub effectively stimulates local nerves, drives the active ingredients deep into the tissue, and provides the essential anti-inflammatory action necessary to begin repairing the leaky vessels. The veins are now toned, the excess fluid is effectively drained. Now, we must protect that hard work all night long while you sleep. Step 5 involves compression, but if you're using the wrong kind of compression, you could actually be strangling your circulation and making the problem worse. If you have been prescribed 20 to 30 millimeters of mercury compression stockings for daytime use, that is appropriate and beneficial for that time of day. However, you should never, under any circumstances, sleep in high-grade compression. When you lie down horizontally, your blood pressure equalizes throughout your body, and those heavy stockings can dangerously restrict your blood flow, effectively creating a tourniquet effect overnight. We need a therapeutic maintenance level for nighttime. The secret lies in low-grade therapeutic compression, which is typically found in light travel or flight socks. Look for socks that are rated at 8 to 15 millimeters of mercury. This is the perfect pressure level to maintain the reduction in edema we have successfully achieved with the prior steps without restricting flow while your body is in a horizontal position. These socks act as a constant gentle squeeze, preventing the tissue space from expanding and reabsorbing the fluid that your kidneys are still actively processing overnight. The way you wear them is also crucial for general edema management. Ankle or calf height is generally sufficient for most people. Most importantly, you must check the top band. If the elastic band creates a visible, deep indentation in your skin after you have been wearing them for a while, simply too tight for nighttime use and is acting as a dangerous ligature. Roll the band down or switch to a more relaxed pair that doesn't dig in. The compression must be graduated, not concentrated at the top. Put them on immediately after your oil rub, effectively locking in the fluid reduction you have achieved. We are now 5 steps in and you are nearly ready for bed. But before you get comfortable and settle in, you need to realize that one of your most common evening habits, the way you hydrate, is actively sabotaging your entire effort. When you drink water, it doesn't instantly leave your body. It is filtered by your kidneys, and this biological process takes a considerable amount of time. Your body is also significantly less efficient at moving large volumes of fluid when you are lying flat. Chugging a large glass of water right before bed practically guarantees that fluid will simply settle via gravity into your lowest extremities, undoing all your good work. You need to implement a strict 3-hour fluid fast before your designated lights out time. If you plan to be asleep by 10 o'clock p.m., then your last substantial sip of water should be no later than 7 o'clock p.m. This means completely stopping the large glass of water, the herbal tea, or any other drink you might habitually consume in the evening. The only exception to this rule is a tiny sip of water to help you swallow the supplements for step 7. By implementing this strict cutoff, you give your kidneys a full 3 hours to perform their final fluid regulation pass while you are still mostly upright and gravity is assisting their function. This ensures that the maximum possible amount of excess fluid is processed and eliminated from your body before you enter the horizontal state, where gravity works against venous return. Now, we are ready for the internal systemic repair. Everything we have done so far has been focused on drainage and improving physical tone. But the root cause of chronic edema is often chronic venous insufficiency, meaning your capillary walls are fundamentally leaking and failing to hold fluid inside the vessels. We need a pharmaceutical grade natural supplement that can effectively repair this damage. This two-part combination is the most scientifically backed natural therapy available for CVI and edema. First, we have horse chestnut seed extract, commonly abbreviated as HCSE. This is the clinical powerhouse of the pair. HCSE contains a compound called aeskin, which has been shown in numerous studies to significantly seal the capillary walls, reducing their permeability, which is the leakiness. It also promotes the release of prostaglandins, which improve venous tone and elasticity. You need to find a high quality product that is standardized to 50 milligrams of aeskin. Take 300 milligrams of HCSE with your last small sip of water. Second, we have pycnogenol, which is a pine bark extract. This is the support agent. Pycnogenol is an incredibly potent antioxidant that strengthens the collagen matrix surrounding your blood vessels, making them more robust. It improves microcirculation and has powerful anti-inflammatory effects, working synergistically with HCSE to repair and reinforce the entire vascular structure. Take 100 milligrams of pycnogenol. Why should you take this combination specifically at night? As your body enters its deep sleep cycles, it naturally shifts into repair mode, focusing its resources on healing and regeneration. By taking this powerful venotonic combination right before bed, you are flooding your system with the precise raw materials needed for vascular repair at the very time when your body is most receptive to healing. This combination is how you transition from nightly management to a long-term resolution of your edema. That, in its entirety, is the definitive 7-step protocol. You are now fully armed with the knowledge and the plan. But before you get comfortable and start your routine, I need to address the one major common habit that instantly reverses all this circulatory work you are about to do. You are probably doing it right now without even thinking about it, crossing your legs. Whether you are sitting on the couch watching television or lying on your side and wrapping one leg over the other, crossing your legs creates a physical clamp, a kink in the hose, on the major femoral artery and vein, which are responsible for returning all that blood and fluid back up from your legs. It immediately forces stagnation in the lower leg, undoing all your progress. Tonight, when you settle in for sleep, make a conscious and deliberate effort to keep your feet flat on the mattress and your legs parallel to each other. If you are a side sleeper, use a thick body pillow placed firmly between your knees. This keeps your knees, ankles, and hips all in proper alignment, ensuring the femoral vessels remain open and clear of any obstruction. This is the final crucial step, maintaining the open pathway. You have cleaned the pipes. Now you must keep the water flowing freely. You now have access to the full vascular revival protocol, the magnesium and potassium flush, 60-second ice shock, the 5-minute wall climb pump, the cypress and rosemary vein rub, the 8 to 15 millimeters of mercury compression correction, the 3-hour fluid fast, and the HCSE and pycnogenol vascular repair combination. This is not magic, this is applied vascular science. Edema is fixable, and you now have the actionable nightly plan to achieve that fix. Implement these 7 steps tonight. Do not wait another day. Your comfort and your long-term circulatory health depend on your action. Now, if you want to learn about the 3 common everyday foods that are silently destroying your vascular elasticity and causing this chronic inflammation to persist, then you need to find my next video. That is the critical next step in achieving a permanent, lasting solution.